Hi everybody, and welcome to our third session in the art of feedback. I'm so excited. We have shared context, we have prepared for feedback. Now we're getting into the meat and bones of the actual conversation, the actual feedback conversation, right? So going into the session, I want to reiterate that it is incredibly important. This is part of your reflection in session 2. But it's incredibly important during the conversation to depersonalize the feedback from the individual. Now that might sound counterintuitive, but let me unpack what I mean. Don't make the feedback about a human failure that they can't change. Rather speak to the disconnect in the input, the behavior, or the environment that you've noticed, as opposed to personally labeling or attacking the actual individual. It becomes really, really hard for people to receive feedback if they feel attacked. Right? So again, just going into it, remember, mind your language, be very mindful of the words specifically you use. Now going on to that, it's incredibly, incredibly important that you keep feedback short and simple, right? Remember, we're triggering that fight, flight, or freeze response. So if you're going to use overcomplicated language, this person is not going to understand what you're saying. You're not going to land your message. There's a saying that you keep the cookies on the lower shelf so the shortest person can reach it, right? Keep your feedback as simple and as precise as humanly possible. And don't waffle. Guys, whatever you do, don't turn a short snackable feedback session into a 20-minute vomiting of how this person isn't winning or where the disconnects are. It is incredibly important to have that conversation and keep it short and use the most simple language that you can do. Feedback has to be fast and snackable, which means you speak only to one thing. You cannot turn your feedback session into a free-for-all and go after every disconnect you've ever seen. That's really unhelpful. The most high impact feedback is around something small that if the receiver changed it, would be able to make a difference. So it's something that I can actually control and have kind of an influence over. If you're going to feed back to me about the 20 million things that I'm doing wrong, where would you like me to begin? Which one of those things? Where do I start trying to recover or pivot or recalibrate my behavior or inputs, etc., etc.? So it's incredibly important that you keep it very focused, snackable, short, snackable. It's a snackable thing. Jax, I want to give you some feedback. Chat to me when you have a gap. Okay, great. Listen, just want to let you know, I've noticed, and I don't know if you have, but I've kind of noticed that you are consistently coming late. Now that's becoming really unhelpful because it's sabotaging your ability to perform to your maximum potential. And I'd like to engage in conversation around what correcting that might look like for us. Boom, done. It's not complicated. You spoke, the thing that I'm not showing up in is I'm constantly late, which manifests different problems. But that's the thing, that if I start coming on time, that's what success looks like. That's something I can control. That's something I can work through with you. And the feedback was not personal. It didn't be like, listen, I think you're completely lazy and lack inspiration and lack motivation. It wasn't about the character. It was about the input and the behavior. The input's 8 o'clock, you have to be at work, you're late all the time, it's not helpful, it's not showing up great, it's sabotaging your success. What do we do moving forward? So it's very important, guys, that you keep it relevant, snackable, and simple. Very, very simple. Feedback, like I said, should take 2 minutes. It should take 2 minutes for you to gain agreement, make it safe, give the feedback, make sure that they understand what feedback you've been delivered, right? Because so what's really, really important is you have to make sure that that person has heard what you have said. And the only way to do that is to get them to play back the feedback. So Jax, I've said my piece, I'd like to know, what have you heard me say? That's it. What have you heard me say? And they'll be like, okay, well, I heard you say that I'm late consistently and we need to fix that. It's not great. Awesome, exactly. We're on the same page. So then, right? So number one, to make sure they understand, you have to get them to play it back. But then you also have to, as a leader, you have to cast vision. What does success look like? If we correct this, what do I want you to do? What does success look like? Jax, that's fantastic. I'm so glad that you're hearing what I'm saying. In terms of my feedback, success for us moving forward looks like you here, 7:45, engaged, ready to kick off with our morning meeting at 8 o'clock. And we're all on the same page and starting from the same space in the morning. Is that something that you can commit to? Yeah, for sure. I can commit to being at work 7:45. So it's very important that you get the playback, get them to play it back. You cast the vision and then you get consensus, right? So you've gone through a whole process, right? You've created safety, you've got buy-in, you've delivered the feedback about, you've depersonalized it, it's about the input or the behavior, or it's about the disconnect. You haven't gone personal, it hasn't been public, it's been short, it's been simple, it's been relevant because I was late this morning and you're addressing it straight away, not in 10 years from now. It was focused because you're not talking to me about every other way I'm failing, which is unhelpful because I can't change that. And then you made sure to ground it by getting me to play it back to you so that you know, in spite of my defense, you know I heard what you said, and we've collaborated and co-created what success looks like. Guys, that's it. That is how you deliver. That is how you do high impact feedback giving. It's that simple. You just need to get comfortable with it. You need to depersonalize the feedback and not see it as you attacking someone personally all the time. It's very important that you check your intent. We've covered all the preparation stuff in session 2. But literally, this is exactly how easy it is to deliver feedback and have really powerful, high-impact feedback conversations. Now, to wrap it up, you need to make sure that they understand this is something that you are going to partner with them on, like a journey you're going to partner with them on. So Jax, I'm so great. We've agreed what success looks like. I just want to let you know that I want to work with you to make sure that we get this over the line. So if I see it improving, I'm absolutely going to mention it to you. If I don't see it improving, we're absolutely going to have a conversation about that again. But, I'm very excited about what the next few days could look like for us, right? And there you go. Feedback done, delivered, end of story. And that's it, guys. That is what a high impact feedback session looks like. It's cookies on the lower shelf. Just practice the process, practice the funnel. Just make sure that you get comfortable having these conversations and it will change your life. Remember, feedback is the art of communicating to someone a disconnect in their behavior, input, or environment, and doing so in a way that is receivable, safety, actionable, cookies on the lower shelf and what success looks like, and rewarding, because when they pivot, they get the acknowledgement that they've pivoted. Okay, so now we've covered a powerful feedback session. I'm going to challenge you guys to have feedback conversations. Please go to your workbook. There's some reflection exercises and reflection questions for you. Make sure that you do the work and practice. Pop over to our Facebook group, share the powerful feedback conversations you're having with your teams and with people in your life. I'm excited to hear all about it. We are going to end off this feedback incubation session with kind of tips on how to embed feedback in your DNA and how to work with people post feedback sessions. So like, what does that journey beyond feedback look like? So that will be our 4th and final session in the feedback incubation series. Can't wait to see you there, guys.